a lot, he'll keep you on your toes. It's the Eric Miranda Show. When he drank a lot, he would fight a lot. He might punch you in your nose. It's the Eric Miranda Show. There are people who would tell you he is crazy, but if you listen closely, he's unbelievable. He used to drink a lot, now he talks a lot. He'll keep you on your toes. It's the Eric Miranda, Eric Miranda, Eric Miranda Show.
Yo, yo. Oh, do you need me to, where's the wife? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Cool.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. Wife is missing in action. She should be along in a few minutes. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. It's good to be back.
So
Missed everybody.
Yeah, man, we missed you too. And like I say, so Jesse and I were trying to, or N today.
Yeah.
We're trying to have conversations when I was in England and he was, where are you?
I was in Vietnam.
Vietnam. Jeez, it's like, and it was just like, man, the clock, first of all, clocks shouldn't change. I mean, you're just pretending that you're in a different position. So why pretend?
Well, you are in a different position.
Well, I mean, I think the thing for me is like, I remember when they first did daylight savings time, or I heard about this. My sister Elizabeth said kids were getting like mugged at the bus stop because, you know, it was suddenly they were, you know, going to school in the dark. But it's just like think about people who commute. They live in, you know, like right on one of the borders in the Midwest. You know, you adjust, but we just make everybody adjust. Yeah, no.
I mean, China has same time zone the whole country.
Well, fuck them. Okay, now I don't want to do it.
I just lost you. What was that?
I said now I don't want to do it.
Yeah. So I was in Vietnam and it was the same time as New York, just AM versus PM. It's a 12-hour time difference.
Yeah. No, the 12-hour I can handle, but I was 5 hours ahead of your PM to AM.
Yeah. It's you've been to Australia, right?
Yes.
That's the one that really messes me up because it's like 15 hours. Like I could wrap my head around 12, and I could wrap my head around 3 or 5.
So you,
but when it gets to like 15, I can't do math.
Yeah, no, it's just terrible. It's terrible. So, oh, you know what? We need to take a look at comments here. Who's got?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ray. Thank you. How's it going, man? You know, I just realized like I have a Nike logo on my shoulder.
You're selling out. You getting paid?
No, I'm not getting paid. That's like the worst part about it. Let me mirror my camera so we're looking at each other. Is that better? Does that look better to you? Now, when wife gets on, we're not going to know. All right, so check it out. So what's going on in the news? I know, I mean, a brief one that I'm not going to get too into, but apparently Kanye West's former personal trainer had to call security on him in Dubai or something like that. But I guess we're kind of just used to that with him, right? But what else?
Well, his wife supposedly is taking a break from him because her parents are upset about the way he treats her, and that she's brainwashed, and she's in Australia, that's temporarily separated, but nobody's made an announcement.
That's crazy. Happy Thanksgiving, Francis. How are you, man? You know what? Let's. Hey, Francis, do you want to come on and say hello with us? Any interest in that stuff? Let me. I'm gonna.
It's important, Francis. We're about to talk about all the hot teachers that sleep with students.
Oh, believe me, Francis can go with anything. Francis done. Oh yeah, all right. Let's definitely talk about that. Do you need me to add you in, Sheila? Let me. I don't know if Old Dunnery wants to come on, but I'm gonna. There she is. Hi. How are you,
Miss Wife?
I'm gonna. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna actually send an invite to old Francis Dunnery.
So in the meantime, let's continue to talk about time zones. Because where's he?
He's right here. He's in Pennsylvania. He's Eastern time.
All right. So I'm in New York now, which I'm not used to. I'm at my mother-in-law's house.
Francis said he can't. He's wearing. Really? You're not going to come on, dude? I call you naked all the time. You're not going to come on in a tutu? And a vicar in a tutu, and I never get used to. Francis Dunnery is wearing a tutu.
Right.
I'm going to let Sheila take care of that. You know what? I'm gonna send Francis an invite, and maybe he'll hear something. Francis has been wild lately. I follow. He's one of the few people I actually follow his tweets. I don't usually. I follow Elon Musk. First of all, what kind of name? Wait, by the way, when somebody's like taking over the world, how come it's never like Jason from like Missouri? All right, let me
It's
get.
got to be a good name like Elon.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I actually stole that. My friend Tim said that, and I thought it was pretty clever. All right, continue, Jesse.
So no, it was just talking about time zones. So I had this crazy trip back where I was circling in Dubai. I thought maybe we were getting bombed. They didn't make an announcement. We were over not Dubai. What was it? Qatar. I thought maybe we were getting bombed because we were circling over Saudi Arabia, but it was raining in the fucking desert. Then I got back. I lost my luggage. I got back. I wrestled with my son for 1 second. I broke my finger. So these time zones fucked me up. And then, pardon my language, then I joined the show an hour early.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
So,
Francis, I'm sending it to WhatsApp, by the way. Sorry.
I live in Texas, and it's usually on at 7 o'clock. So I came back to my mother-in-law's house because nobody's here, so I could be quiet at 7 o'clock. And for everyone listening, I texted Eric. I said, let's just test out because all I'm using is an iPad today. Let's make sure it works. We did. Eric hung up, and I sat there for 10 minutes waiting for him to come back on, thinking that the show started. But I was
and then I got a message from Jesse. He's like, dude, where are you? I said, well, I can see you on the screen, but I'm because we have a little waiting room. I said, but I'm on a call, and he's like, it's 7 o'clock, and I'm like, bro, you're in New York. So hey, Joe Welsh, what's happening, man? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. By the way, I was gonna wear a turkey hat, but then I just thought,
it's good enough.
This looks like a turkey, right?
Yeah,
so I sent Francis Dunnery an invite on WhatsApp. Hopefully he'll come in.
Jive turkey? I haven't heard that in a long time.
What did I hear? Oh, dude, you guys want to hear something? I was playing paddleball today with some old timers, and they were beating us. We ended up winning the game, just so you know.
Hold on, you're calling guys old timers now,
dude? These guys are these guys are in their 70s. Oh no, you wouldn't believe it. Francis Dunnery's in the house. Where's wife? Oh, there she is.
She left because she knew I was coming on.
Francis.
Not true. I'm back.
He's back in New York. Francis, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I've just had dinner with Lizzie, so I'm just sitting here. I've been working on my album all day and doing all that thing. But I'm just checking in your show. I haven't checked it out fully yet.
Yeah, well, here
Francis,
you are.
What number album is this for you?
What number? Oh, I don't know. I don't know now. I just do them and nobody listens to them, and then I just
It's perfect.
And when it's true, and then when they don't listen to them, I just make another, and they don't listen to that either.
Let me ask you a quick. Wait, so I just thought of something, Francis. If one person buys each record and you do 1 million records, is that a platinum seller?
No, you're just a platinum artist.
If you sell one of it, it's a plat, right? It's a plat. So if you sell one record per record, but you make 1 million records, are you a platinum artist?
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way,
hey, the thing is, you can't make music for that though, because I've had big selling records. In fact, I've played on some of the biggest records in the world. Like the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that was huge, and Carlos Santana's Supernatural, they're huge records.
Right.
But it only ended up with me. Nobody associated me with the record, so I didn't get any of the fame or the money.
Right. You just played great. So yeah, but obviously you've done some big things.
But those are all, Francis. Those are all salary gigs, right?
Don't do what?
Those are all salary gigs. Like there's no royalty gig.
I'll do anything for money. We don't call it money anymore. It's called child support. That's the new money. That's the wrong word you're using. It's just child support. So when I do when I go online, I just say, you know, come back. Well, if you buy my record, it'll be child support. Eric
Well,
knows about that.
I've definitely worked for child support before.
Yeah. I know, that's why I know.
So I was in your in the neck of the woods. I was in Egremont, and I
Right.
passed. I went to Francis's. Who lives there now again? I can't remember.
Stacy, my niece.
Stacy, right. So I went to the house that Francis Dunnery grew up in, and he had to duck his head to get in the house. And I thought, when were you fully grown at 6'5"?
I was like, I reckon I was 6'4" at like 16.
16.
Wow.
And then you left home at 21?
I left home at 21, and now I'm 6 foot fat.
6 foot fat.
That makes two of us.
That's the name of my new album, 6 foot fat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, Joe Welsh just asked if I'm still working for child support. Yeah, Joe, I started late. I have a 10 and a 15-year-old. And
Dude, Miranda's like me. We'll be doing child support till we're 75.
Exactly.
Well, and then after that, you guys will be in diapers, so it'll be like child support for
By the
yourself.
way,
We'll need child support ourselves.
right. So that's the thing I used to say to the kids. You know, every once in a while they'd mention that I was so much older than their friends' parents, and I'd say, yeah, well, I had you late, so I can change your diapers, and eventually you'll have to change.
You can change mine, yeah. Dude,
Yeah, I talked about that the other day. They told me they won't do it, and that's kind of bullshit.
Well, I told Marcus if I'm ever like quadriplegic that he's got to bring me to the Grand Canyon, find a little opening in the gate, and when nobody's looking, just give me the old elbow. And
I'll do that for you, Eric, lad. Don't worry, I'll do that for you. Don't worry.
Well, he said to me, he was
I'm
like,
looking for you now.
But you have to give me your car first. As long as I get your car, I'll do it for you.
You like that Honda Pilot, right? By the way, I'll never get rid of that car. I love that car.
Yeah.
Francis is a big guy, so the big car works for him. It's but getting back to the whole thing with child support, so now anyway, you know what? That stuff sounds.
What were you guys talking about before I come on? That was interesting.
Were we
time
talking
zones?
time zones or
Time zones you were talking about? I can't remember.
what we were talking
was
about? What else were we talking about? We're talking about
Well,
time zones.
Something
yeah.
that makes people go nuts.
Yeah. Well, we're just trying to. I was in England. He was in Vietnam. Sheila's here in New York, and we were trying to coordinate things. And it's kind of madness, you know.
Yeah.
Why? Can we not talk about why women aren't funny?
Why women aren't. So
Here's the thing: we're not funny around you guys. Like when we're
No,
together
no.
and we're talking
No.
about you, we're fucking hilarious.
I say it to Liz all the time. I just say, listen, don't, because there's like girl funny. Girls think there's like certain things that girls think are absolutely hysterically funny, but it's girl
That's
funny.
true.
So do
You know
they
what I
feel?
mean?
Do they feel the same way? Are they lying when they laugh around us? Do they really?
No,
Yes.
because see now. Christopher Hitchens said that we have to be funny in evolution, in nature, because we had to attract the. You know, that's why women aren't funny. They didn't have to attract men. We were going after them, so we had to be funny.
Really?
That's what Christopher Hitchens said, and so that's why he said women aren't funny.
He really said that, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll be honest with you. I think Sheila's pretty funny. I hate to say it.
Sheila's the funniest one in the show.
That's
Sheila's
because you're a girl, Eric. Eric,
'Cause
that's because you're a girl, dude.
Hold on, Sheila. I'm going to say this, Eric. Eric, you're going to get upset, but Sheila misses less than we do. Sheila doesn't say as much, and when she makes a joke, it's funny. Her batting average is way higher. We're quantity, not quality. She's quality.
That's a good one.
I'm just going with she's not funny, and neither is that Liz. I told Liz tonight. Stop trying to be funny. Don't try to be funny around me, because I'm incredibly funny and you're not.
This wouldn't be like any kind of misogyny or bigotry or.
Hey, Eric. He comes on and he says you're 6 foot fat. All right, he wins.
Listen, he wins. Look, but I'm going to tell you something.
Bald head. I've got a bald head, and I'm 6 foot fat.
But I
here's the thing. I will sit here and at the risk of really getting creamed, I will say, like comedians, funny people, people in the business of being funny, all my people that I laugh hardest at are men.
Yeah,
there are some women who are very funny, but they're not the ones I have laughed hardest at.
Okay, so is that because men are funnier?
Men are
Or-
funny. They have to be funny. But the
I
thing
think-
is, and most people who are funny, they're like me and Miranda. They have to. They're manic depressives anyway, so they have to pretend that. So
Oh my
they have
God.
to do, because if they're not funny and they don't make out the world's just a big joke to them, they'll collapse in a heap, crying and sobbing themselves to sleep every night, like me.
Can
Next
I?
thing-
Slapping all over themselves and praying for hair.
Next thing you know, they're asking their son to push them over the Grand Canyon.
Right, exactly. Well, Marcus was like, "Daddy, why would I do that?" Ken Roberts, what's that? Hey, by
Ken
the way,
Roberts is here.
Ken, hey Francis, it's Ken Roberts.
It's Ken on.
Yeah, Ken's on. He's you see that little text message from him?
Hey,
By
Ken.
the way, have
Ken's
you
not funny. Ken's not funny either because he looks like a woman as well with his long hair.
It was long hair. Well, Ken, did you tell Francis the news? Did you tell Francis that you're now an American citizen?
He told me, and I congratulated him. I love old Ken. He's a good lad.
You guys both took that test, huh?
He's a Scouser, Ken. He's from a nasty
Hello,
part
Ken.
of England.
Yeah. Where Ken? Where are you from? Wait, Ken, are you from Scotland or from Liverpool?
He's a Scouser.
Is that what you call a Scouser? Well, let me ask you a question. Why is it called Liverpool if it was named after the liver bird? Somebody's got to tell me that. He's a Scouser.
Well, isn't that obvious? Liverpool.
Yeah, no,
What do
I
you mean?
get it, but like, why wouldn't it be called Liverpool?
Oh, I don't know. You'll have
You
to ask
wouldn't-
Ken about that. I've no idea.
You wouldn't want Casey Kasem saying these 4 lads from Liverpool,
That's
It's like
what
Houston
he said,
Street.
like how? Yeah, Houston's
It's like
kind of
Houston
weird.
Street. Yeah, what the fuck?
So it's what is it? What is it? Is it water
yeah.
and
He's
mercury?
watered in Mersey.
Right.
The pool, the Mersey pool, the Liverpool. Yeah, the Liverpool.
Is that what?
It doesn't matter anywhere because the fact is, it's a neighborhood for not very sophisticated people like Ken, and
And women aren't funny.
and if you park the car there, your wheels will be gone within about 4 minutes.
Listen,
Oh, really?
you know we live in this kind of snotty neighborhood. They come from all over the Bronx and they steal our wheels.
Yeah, just to
Yeah,
get our
good.
wheels.
Dude, you need to, if you hang out Liverpool, it makes the Bronx look like, it makes the Bronx look like Riverdale.
So, let me tell you, all right, so Kelly John and I spent a day in Glasgow, right? And the first time I went there was in like 2002, and Francis said, "Eric, I grew up just south of there. I'm telling you, after midnight, just keep your mouth shut." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, Eric, you don't understand." And I pulled into a Holiday Inn in a tour bus, and I got out of the bus, and there was this giant man beating up this small couple. And I'm like, "Oh no," he told me not to get involved. And I didn't, but then they kept chasing the big guy down. It was crazy. So, and then the next morning you see the same people like, "Oh, good morning." And they're like jogging on the River Clyde. And then midnight hits.
That's the culture, dude.
It's insane.
It's like Bangladesh on crack.
So on the way back up to Whitehaven,
Somehow
back,
that's not how
back
I
down.
picture Bangladesh.
What? Bangladesh. So on the way back, do you see that, Frank? Do you see that Ken saying showing my sophistication now? That's so all right. So so on the way back, oh my God, there was some Francis Dunnery fans. And they asked me what I was doing in Whitehaven. I said, "I'm staying with Danny Dunnery." They're like, "Do you know Danny Dunnery?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Do you know Frank Dunnery?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "He's the greatest guitar player in the world." I was like, "He's okay."
That's right. I am
yeah.
the greatest guitar player in the world.
Yeah, well, you heard my shreddy metal stuff the other day. Be careful.
And who was
So
them 2 fans you bumped into? Was it Sheila and her sister?
no, it was it was your niece Stacy. Getting back, all right. So let's get back to the house, right? So I went to Francis' house, and he had to duck to get in, and then I realized how tall was your brother Baz?
6'2".
And Faye, your sister's probably 6 feet, right?
No, she's 5'10", I think, Fair. She's pretty
She wears
big.
heels. She wears heels. She's
She
trying to trick.
doesn't wear heels. No, she never wears heels because she's a big man.
She's a
You
big
get them
man.
like big men women. Sheila's like a big man.
Is she funny?
She's not funny at all. I've told her. Just get it. I told her to keep her mouth shut around my friends and not to embarrass me.
You know, Faye, my favorite thing that Faye ever said was when she met my daughter, she looked at her. Kelly John was 9, and she said, Oh, Eric, she's lovely.
Okay, but Ken just says Fran is lovely.
Fran,
She is lovely. I would agree with that.
No, we love Ken. Ken's a good lad. He's a good lad, Ken. We like him. We do like him a lot. He's definitely, he's. I'll stand up for Ken in court and all that. I'll do that. He's a decent man. He's a decent human being. There's people in the world, Eric, isn't there? There's like decent human beings.
So far, he's pretty funny.
Let me.
Ken's one of them. And you're
I
not.
want to ask Ken a question. Ken, if I bring you on one of these weeks, will you be allowed to tell the story about being kidnapped? What's going on, Luis Quinones? How are you, buddy?
Miranda,
Ken.
you need me on here every week because my friends are telling me this is the best show you've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, as long as
This
Also,
there's the best looking guy on there I've ever seen. It said.
Francis, you
Ken
have
saying yes.
Thank you.
yeah. So
Thank you.
Hey, hang on a second. Just wait. So Ken, so if I bring you, you know what? Should we bring Ken on to tell that story?
If you want to bring him on, yeah.
Let's bring. We're going to bring Ken on. Hang on a second. All right. So Ken's going to tell a story about being kidnapped. I think it was in Africa. I'm not. He's going to correct me if I'm wrong, but
I hate when I get kidnapped in Africa.
yeah.
I don't. You know what? I think the thing I don't trust people get kidnapped in Africa.
They're not funny.
There's just something not right about them.
There's. Hang on a second, Kenny. Where the hell is? Oh.
When
See,
do we
we're-
start talking about abortion and Muslims?
No, stop it, dude.
Wow.
Dude, don't get me canceled.
That's tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show at 5 p.m. We'll send
Yeah,
you the link.
Yeah, we'll send you the link.
What is tomorrow's show?
You can join the family dinner
No,
table.
there
and
is
have a
no-
discussion.
Tomorrow's show.
Thanksgiving, Joe.
Yeah.
So somebody said somebody put up a post about not fighting with your family. My family never fights. Johnny Suede, what's going
goodness.
on, man?
Oh,
My
it's the
family-
60th anniversary of JFK assassination tonight.
What a great name that is,
Oh,
Johnny
is it
Suede.
really?
That's
Johnny
a great
Suede.
name.
That is a great name. Wow.
That's just like a rock star's name off the bat. Like he doesn't have to change his name. Like Elton John has to change his name. Johnny Suede, dude. That's
By
it.
the way,
Here's Ken. Ken's here.
what's
I'm
up?
adding
Let's
him.
let Ken.
Ken!
Hang on.
Yeah.
At stage, sorry.
Yeah.
Ken.
Hey,
There he
Ken.
is. How come we can't see you? Where's your camera? I can
I'll
see
put a
you.
light on. We're in the dark.
No, I can see. It's weird. Oh, there you are. All right, there he is. What's going on, Ken? Ken, this is.
She is good. She is good looking.
Oh yeah, that's. By the way, if you think Francis is hard to understand, you're really going to struggle with Ken. Ken, tell us the story about being kidnapped.
Okay, so I used to work for Science Application International Corporation for 25 years, and I did cybersecurity all around the world. And I was sent to Switzerland to work in Geneva for an oil company because they had some problems. After I finished my work there, I realized the problems weren't in Switzerland, they were in Nigeria. And so the financial director there asked me to go to Nigeria to fix it. And I had a mixture of 2 vehicles, 2 drivers, 2 soldiers, an armored vehicle with 7 soldiers, and depending on where I went. And one day I was to fly to an oil rig offshore, and the helicopter broke down. So my plans, which were really finely organized, and I had a Vietnam vet securing that, all got changed. So I ended up going to an inshore rig in a zombie in the middle of the jungle, which was quite interesting. And then I had to go to Akaport, which is in Port Harcourt in the Niger Delta. And the way it works is you get to a compound and your soldiers can't come in with you. But this is a compound I'm not supposed to be at. So my soldiers can't come in with me, my drivers can't come in. We go in, and then there's 5 guys with machine guns. They just want lots of money. So that's what really happened. And then they paid a ransom. After a few hours, they beat the Nigerian guy up. Then they decided they wanted more money. And so they got more money. And then a day later, I was released.
Now, did the other guy get released?
Yeah. The Nigerian guy got released as well. He's just a negotiator. They really just want money.
Yeah.
No, dude, Eric, this is in Liverpool. This is
That's it. Actually, in Liverpool, the port of Liverpool.
Ken had too many pints, and he forgot that it was in Liverpool. Exactly. Francis, have you ever been kidnapped?
No.
No.
They give
Nobody's-
it back. They
I'm
pay
too
the
ugly.
money and they give it away.
I'm too ugly and worthless to kidnap. Nobody's going to kidnap me, dude. They're just going to look at me and just go, nah. They'll get somebody who's, you know, they won't. They usually don't. They usually kidnap people of who they think's valuable. So, you know, and I'm too fat to kidnap. They couldn't, you know, if they wanted to like time equations. That's a good
Now
name for an
that's-
album. Too fat to kidnap.
I think that's your book.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Too fat to kidnap.
Actually, I kidnapped
I'd read that.
I kidnapped Francis
Thanks,
outside.
Caleb.
I kidnapped him outside of London, and then I got arrested for not paying my child support.
Yeah. The thing is with you know, with all that stuff, with all the kidnapping stuff, I think, you know, like it's a weird thing because when you look at certain things in life, when people get into situations like that, it's almost like they like any shitty situation I've been in, it's almost like I played a part in it in a weird way.
Totally.
Like I know that sounds nuts, and I don't mean on the surface level. I mean unconsciously. It's almost like
I don't think it sounds
it's
nuts.
like people move to San Francisco because they want to experience risk, and they don't
Really?
realize it unconsciously, but they're all there because the earthquakes, and they unconsciously all gravitate to there for the risk of it.
Yeah,
And
Stuart
of
Wild.
course now all the shit on the streets, of course, but the earthquakes first.
Yeah, no. Stuart Wild, the writer Stuart Wild, once said, if somebody broadsides your car, puts you through a laundromat window, and you end up in the spin dryer, you chose it.
That's right. Yeah, unconsciously, right? So Ken, that's what I'm saying. His whole deal, there's something that gravitates him towards getting kidnapped and all that. He loves it.
Well, what about
Well,
Susie? Did she?
I did work for a federal contractor, which is obviously a risky thing to do.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. So you're attracted to risk. That's why you got married.
Well,
But you're a person who lives a big life. So
That's
you
true.
live a big life and you're more likely to be in the situation where crazy stuff happens to you.
100%.
Yeah, no, I mean, I believe in if there's opportunities, if you should go look at them and take them. And obviously, you look back at that one and say, well, that was one I probably shouldn't have took. There you go.
By the way, we were at Ken's wedding when he got kidnapped. But Ken, we were actually talking about your wedding last week.
We were.
We were at your wedding last week. I mean, we were talking about your wedding last week because of the woman. We met a woman at your wedding
It
who
wasn't
started.
that we met her. It was literally the first person because we didn't know anybody other than you and your lovely wife. And she
Lovely.
was the first person we walked up to speak with. And within like 3 minutes of the conversation, she was telling us about how her ex-husband shot her.
Yeah. And she was,
And it was the greatest conversation.
and she was and she was left for dead in the on a pickleball court or something, right?
No. I think you're conflating some of the elements of the conversation.
So,
Christ.
so Francis, I reckon that you're now going to associate that woman's attempted murder with me being a risk taker.
I think that's true. I think you're that's part that you're attracted to all of that stuff. That's what, yeah, and you can't, so any bad shit that's happened to me in my life, I always think, why did I choose that? What part of me, like what made me want to experience that? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you do have that in you, Ken. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it.
No, I understand. I fell off a mountain. I've been hit by a car at 50 miles an hour while cycling.
That's it. There you go.
Unconscious.
That's risk.
I've been in a house on fire. I've been on a yacht on fire out in the ocean in a force 9 gale.
See, Eric?
Wait, what?
That's it.
We need to hear that story.
Hold on. Where I've been in a yacht on fire.
And on top of that, he supports Everton. Aren't you an Everton fan?
No. That's too big a risk, Francis.
Eric
key-
Miranda, let me ask you a question because I've got to go through. My battery's going to run out. But let me ask you a question. All the times you've been to England now, you've been there loads of times. Who's your football team?
Consider.
Yeah, you City.
I think I don't know, man.
There'll just
I
be a
don't know.
team you gravitate towards. Who is it? Is it
It
City?
would probably be City.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gritty. They're like, they're underdogs, or they were anyway.
They are the underdogs. They're not now, but they used to be all the time.
Yeah, and Man United, So,
United are done now anyway. But City, Atletico Madrid, right? There's Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid are like the big team. Atletico are like the people's team. Like the people who live around the stadium. and that's what City's like. It's all like the City lot. So if you like City, that's a good choice.
Now, what
He got
about
lucky.
what about Tottenham? Is it what do they call it? Tottenham?
Now
Tottenham
they just
Hotspur.
took our manager with our manager Ange Postecoglou. He's from Celtic. They
Yeah.
stole him, and now they're doing pretty damn good again. They're top of the league, best start they've had.
Yeah.
You know,
Now,
so
now aren't they from Brooklyn?
No.
They're from Williamsburg. Those guys.
See, I'm a Yankees fan. Baseball, I love the baseball. I used to live up by the Yankees, and the weird thing is that I remember I brought my mum into to New York, and I was having I was having like a Francis Dunry night at Shea Stadium with the Mets, and I didn't know anything about it. And I'm down on the pitch. I'm actually on the pitch with this guy called Darryl Strawberry, and I don't know who he is.
Right.
You know, I don't know who he is. I've got a clue. They just said,
Did you
"Hey,
guys?
Darryl
Did you
Strawberry."
guys?
I was like, no, to me, it could be like Brian Simmons or something. I'm just going, and then they start playing my video on the big screen and all that, and everyone was round of applause for Francis Dunny, and they start clapping all that. My mum's watching this right in Shea Stadium. I just shipped it in a limousine, and then we drove her back, and she stayed at the Helmsley Hotel at the top floor. She had this massive floor, and I was doing all that thing. I was spending a fortune to try and show off. And all she said was, when she got home, I said, "Did you like it, man? Was it good?" And she went, "Well, the bacon was nice."
Was you talking about Darryl Strawberry?
Yeah, but Darryl Strawberry.
It just cost me about 15 grand. What are you talking about? The bacon was nice.
Dude, I'm telling you. So the American Life in the Summertime, that was the song. So you didn't know Darryl Strawberry, but did you guys smoke crack together?
No, I didn't actually. No, but when I think back now, I've got pictures of him somewhere with me and him on the pitch. I've got pictures of him on there. I'll have to put them online. I haven't seen they're actually physical pictures. But I got into the Yankees during that time. I got into baseball, and I absolutely loved the whole thing. I got that team with Jeter and Bernie Williams and all that lot, and Posada. And
that was amazing. That was an amazing time.
Dude,
that was
exciting.
that was like 96 to 2000. How many would they win? 4 in that period? Ian's by the way, just so you know, Francis, this is Ian. Get out of it.
Is that Ian there?
That's me. Ian,
I love
back
that.
in the
He's
day.
got a great story. I won't do it now, but that was a genius. That was the funniest thing ever.
What story?
Ian, get out of here. Ian,
Who's got the TV on, or who's got kids in the background? Go and punch them in the face.
I think it's you.
It's not me, dude.
Who's got kids in the background? I'm gonna mute
Not
myself.
me.
Not me. I'm in the house by myself.
Is that Marcus, Sheila?
No.
What's going on? Is there like another how's this happening? We're being haunted. So anyway, all right, so Ken got kidnapped. Francis' house was small. Okay, how about this? John Oates. Daryl Hall has a restraining order against John Oates.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I can't go for that.
It kind of makes you sad, that, because them guys have played all that music and they've done all that thing, and then why don't they just stop? Like, dude, just stop. You're like 75, just stop. Like, shake hands, put your tongue down his throat, and then just go and have a pint.
The problem is they're business partners.
Right, they're business. That's what he said. They're business partners.
I want to know,
partners.
what was he doing? Was he like just showing up and like being like, "Hey, let's do a song together. Hey, man, like." I
don't know.
Like, what was he doing?
I'm defending John Oates because he had a cooler mustache.
Way cool. Yeah. Or as Bill Burr called it, a Freddie Mercury dick broom. Yeah.
He had a cooler mustache, and he wasn't as cool. He was the underdog.
Now who's more amazing though than John Oates? Because Andrew Ridgeley from Wham woke up one day and said, "When I grow up, I want to be John Oates."
Yeah, exactly.
I went out on a night out with him one night with Andrew Ridgeley. He hung out, we did bikes, and he was trying to be cool because we were all like full white trash, like violent, like northern drunks and all that. And poor old Andrew come out with us one night, and he was. We never seen him again after that.
That's pretty amazing.
I think he went home and shit the bed or something like that.
Well, you know what Andrew Ridgeley said when George Michael died, right?
What?
He said, "I can die too, you know."
That's absolutely terrible, dude.
Couldn't help it. No, so anyway, so yeah, so John Oates is getting, and then who else is getting restraining? Oh, how about you guys want to see some?
Oh my god,
What?
it's gonna be Carrot Head.
You can talk about the lady pooping on me. Is it going to be Carrot Top
No,
or the lady that
I've got
get pissed
5%
on the
left.
plane?
I'm going to have to go. I have to go, but I want to say goodbye to you all before I go.
Francis, nice talking to you.
Bye, Francis. Good to
Nice
see
to
you.
Bye,
see you
Thank
all.
Francis.
you.
How do I get off it? What do I do to get off? Or leave? I say there's a button called leave.
Leave, that helps.
What does it say? It says leave Miranda to his own fate. All right, I'll do that. Bye, everybody. Great
Bye,
Bye,
to
Bye-bye.
see you all.
Francis.
I'll see you in a minute. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye. 6 foot fat. What's this? Eazy-E's Dad's street song was overdue. What do you got going on here?
Yeah, dude, you're muted. You're muted.
You're muted and no one knows what you're saying.
He's cursing at me right now.
He
You guys
seems
can
to
hear
have
it.
this under control.
You
I
don't
mean,
want to
dude.
fucking know what I'm saying. All right, so where's the woman who peed the bed? I mean, who shit on the plane? What? Here she is. Here we go.
The woman who pissed on the plane?
I got it. So yeah, I have 2 TMZs open. It's confusing me. Where are those kids coming from? Do we have kids anywhere?
Not
Nope.
me.
The mystery kids. Hang on. All right, so I'm sharing the screen, right? And share screen, and then TMZ. I have 2 TMZs open. So let me just give me a second, guys. Give me a second.
Where are the kids coming from? I'm going to mute for a second.
All right, hang on. Share screen. Let's see.
It's not me. They're still kids.
Why is this? This is so weird that it's not. Hang on.
What is a selfie tour?
I don't know.
I do that in my house a lot. I take pictures of myself and I say them in different places and I don't share them.
Oh, hang on. No, come on. Where is the chick? Where is she, guys?
Like, hey, I was in Vietnam last week. And I take a selfie.
Yeah. Oh, here we go, guys. You ready? Can you hang on? Why can't you see this, guys? This is killing me.
You need to produce it.
Yeah.
Let me call Francis Donnery.
Hang on. It's a good thing he didn't stay on waiting for this because he would have got. Hang on. Okay. Share screen. TMZ. Celebrity. Nope. Where is this other freaking tab? All right, guys, I got to close out stuff. This is so weird.
Well, Sheila, do you know, and Ken, do you know about the woman that pissed on the plane?
I read about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty awesome video.
You guys are on planes a lot. Have you ever seen anything that crazy?
No, and I don't want to.
A couple of weeks ago, last time I was in Asia, a guy got off a flight that I know and told me somebody literally pissed. Right, they wouldn't let him by to the area where the pilots are. You know when they block off the pilots?
Yeah.
And the guy just took his dick out and pissed in first class.
Really?
Oh my god.
That's not, dude. That's not first class.
Well,
that's no class.
He was there. They arrested him when he got off the plane.
Guys, we have mystery
Like
children somewhere.
the worst thing I've ever seen or had to endure on a plane was like a couple breaking up in front of me.
Oh no,
they were sitting in front of me and they were like fighting and like breaking up the whole entire flight, and it was like unbearable.
I've written a whole book about disgusting things I've seen, but I haven't seen anyone piss. I've seen people cut their toenails. I mean, I've seen some messed up stuff on planes. But I really haven't seen anyone get arrested. I didn't see any major like mask meltdowns. And I'm on a plane every week.
Yeah.
I almost had a fight a couple of years ago.
What are you on a plane?
So I'm coming back from Australia. So I'll tell the story while you look for this thing. So I went to Australia a couple of years ago for work, and on my way there, there's a Dallas flight on Qantas, direct flight. But I'm in coach, and they make an announcement for $200 you could buy a whole row. So I go flying up there. They had 2 rows available, right? I got the row. I'm like, all right, I have nobody sitting next to me for an 18-hour flight. Pretty good. So they marked my ticket. At one point, somebody tried to move into my seat, and I showed my ticket, and the flight attendant's like, no, he paid for this row. So when I was coming back, I'm in Sydney, and I asked the guy when I was checking if I could do the same thing. He said, yeah, it'll be 75 Australian dollars, which was like $50. I'm like, yes. He goes, but I only have a bulkhead, but you'll have the whole bulkhead to yourself. You can't pick up the arm, but you have the whole area. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So we take off. I got my 2 seats. I got my little bag next to me. And we just got in the air like height. And now I decided, I'm trying to decide which seat I want to sit in because I have both. And all the flight attendants on Qantas they're men that look like they can kick your ass. Like they all got tight white shirts on. They're in great fucking shape. I want to sleep with them or get beat up by them. One of the two. Right? Every flight attendant looks like they could kill you. Like looks like they just grew up fighting, and they're good looking. So flight attendant comes over with this guy, stupid American. he goes, he goes, what seat do you want? I go, well, I have both of them. He goes, well, let me see your ticket. And they didn't mark my ticket. So I'm like, I have both of them. So the American behind goes, just pick a fucking seat. I go, well, I paid for both seats, man. So he goes, just pick a fucking seat. Stop being an asshole. Right? Screaming at me. So I did, maybe I pulled this coolest thing out of my butt. I never cool. I'm like, don't get arrested. You know, don't have a fight on a flight. So I pretended to light a cigarette. I'm sitting there, I go, asshole, huh? He goes, yeah, asshole. I went, asshole with 2 seats. And then I flicked the fake cigarette at him. And he went crazy. Started cursing at me, telling me to kick my ass. And I'm just smiling. I'm like, all right, I won this battle. And the flight attendant looks at me, shakes his head, and leaves. And then I'm like, shit, I got a receipt, right? So I take my receipt in my bag. Flight attendant comes by. I'm like, hey, I want you to know I'm not an asshole. Like, this is my receipt. So he's like, he goes, listen, man, I wish I could do an Australian accent. He goes, that guy was an asshole in his first seat. He was a problem in your seat. He's going to be a problem in the next seat. I'd like to be there when you both go get your luggage, though.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my God.
And he bought me a drink.
All right. Well, listen, this lady has you both beat. Are we ready, guys?
I'm not ready, but go
I had to
ahead.
kill time, Eric.
I knocked you guys off so you can see this. Hang on. Here we go. DMZ.
I'm ready to be over here. I mean, sorry, everybody. Are you serious? Okay, let me I don't give a fuck. No, fuck you. Fuck you. I gotta go pee. I don't give a fuck. You never honor this fucking bitch. Let me pass. This poor little boy next to it.
Now, Geltner, did you?
I'd sleep with her.
Right.
Now, there's a couple of things going on there. She's got a mask on her chin. So she wore the mask on the plane, not wanting to spread germs.
Right. or get them. So it depends on what she was going to wipe or something.
Exactly.
But okay, so wait, what happened to her?
I don't know. They didn't say what happened to her. So I don't think she pissed. I mean, she pulled her pants down.
It was like Spirit, or not Spirit. It was one of those.
Budget
Anyway,
airline.
that's pretty. Yeah, it was like a budget airline, but that's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm pretty impressed though. I mean, now does she have to register as a sex offender? Like, I'm dead serious. What happens when you drop your drawers in front of like little kids?
I don't know, but she also, I'm going to say this. She had to pee, which she made clear, but she didn't have the shit because she said, I don't give a shit.
Oh, very clever. Very
So
clever.
she was letting everyone know that she only had to pee.
By the way, I want to tell you something interesting. Ken was married at the Allman Brothers Museum. Right, Ken? Well, he just disappears. Like,
Ken, we're in the dark. What's going on with you, Ken?
Yeah, I'm moving to another room because my wife's on the phone now, so we don't talk over it. Yeah.
Is she the little kid that was? So yeah, so he got married.
Is his wife the little kid?
I know.
She'll beat your ass, Eric.
Listen, I know she will.
Hold on, I gotta pee.
Stop.
Oh my God.
By the way, I don't know what the rating on the show is, but but honestly, so that was, I didn't go in and see the recording room and stuff. I was too busy binge eating. Did you know that, Ken, that I had gone like almost a year without sugar, and then at your wedding, Sheila and I stopped at we stopped at a gas station that we should have been murdered at, and we got like bags of Reese's peanut butter cups. It was pretty.
Where was it? Where was this wedding?
It was
In Macon, Georgia.
Macon.
Oh,
Yep.
If you gave me 600 guesses, I would have got that.
Well, because where are the Allman Brothers from?
They're from Florida, but they
Right.
moved to Macon because of Capricorn Studios, and then they all lived in several houses, but the big house was the last house they lived in.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool experience. And then the band, and then he got this local band that were amazing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Nathan. Yeah.
I was like, why are guys like me playing with big artists and these guys are playing at Ken's wedding? I mean, no offense to your wedding, but I mean, like that drummer was just a murderer. He was unbelievable. Really, really good. So, right. So, all right. So the woman told us about getting shot by her husband. Was she from New Jersey, honey?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, like, hey, what's going on, Lisa Lucas? Listen, you're here. That's all that matters. Happy Thanksgiving. Am I going to see you tomorrow, Lisa? We're going to my sister Justine's. We don't do a traditional turkey thing. We do like surf and turf. I know that's kind of weird.
That's cool, bougie.
Well, we have we have a weird tradition now. Actually, on Christmas Day, we still do a Christmas Eve with one of the family members, but on Christmas Day we go for hibachi in Valley Stream, Long Island.
Yeah, that's
and
a good tradition.
that started when one of the in-laws were sick, and then the next in-law, and then my parents. So it just became a tradition. It's the loudest place in the world, and they do that thing where they shoot the sake into your mouth, and then of course, as a non-drinker, I always have to just. And then one guy's like, "Come on, come on!" I'm just like, "Oh, at least he's not going to be there tomorrow." All right, well, sorry, we'll miss you. Mwah. Happy Thanksgiving. So yeah, so they do that thing where they shoot it, and then one of the guys, Sheila, correct me if I'm wrong, but did one of the guys stand up and put it by his penis like he was peeing in someone's mouth?
I don't think so. I don't think it was.
I usually pay extra for that.
Well,
I think it's suggestive, not explicit.
Yeah, it was.
I just remember your brother Adam. It was going around the table. I just remember your brother Adam being like, "No," like there was just no like ounce of him that was going to be seen in front of the family opening his mouth for a stream of liquid to be falling into it.
Yeah. My brother Adam is a man of few words. Ken, you would never know that he's related to the other five of us because we're all talkers. But I'm not going to mention any names because there are people who know the person I'm going to tell the story about. But we were on the train platform on Long Island going into the city one time, and this guy who's a little bit of a hustler, a little bit of a used car salesman. He sees my brother come up in the middle of the winter, and he's got a suit on, but he has a huge ski jacket on, down jacket. And and we're all like freezing. And the guy, the car salesman, he wasn't really a car salesman. He's just like, and he's like in this really fancy, like London fog. And he looks at my brother and he says, Miranda, I dig the high fashion. And my brother said, yeah, I didn't know that shivering like a girl was in style. So that's all he said. And I said, by the way, I said something mean. I was in a rest stop somewhere between Manchester and Whitehaven. And I pulled into a rest stop and I said to this woman, I said, or maybe I was down by Royal Tunbridge Wells, but I pulled into this rest stop, gave the woman my Amex. And sometimes when you first use it in another country, it gives you like a warning. I said, this may not work. It's the first time I'm using it. She said, it'll work. I said, okay. And I put it through and it worked. And she said, see, I was right. I said, yeah, I see that. I said, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, is the man still wrong? And she looked at me and she said, is that a trick question? And I said, it is if you're dumb. And Danny Dunnery just turns beet red and just like turns the other way and walks away. I was jet lagged. I was tired. Come on. But my brother Adam, when he does, it's like Sheila's batting average with jokes. It's
she doesn't miss.
She doesn't miss. Bill Spencer is the king of. I have a friend, Bill, Ken. The guy tells a joke once every hour and 20 minutes on the fly, and they're just killers, crushers every time. Wait, what's the virgin one?
It,
The
as
virgin drink.
The sake.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
hibachi,
Yeah, they do the baby bottle.
I guess that could look a little like it has some overtones to it, right?
hibachi places need some new material now.
Yeah,
They're still
well,
doing the train, the volcano, the same stuff for like 30 years.
no, I'm gonna tell. Well, that's because you're in
Egg,
Texas.
like
No, wait.
the
Oh,
egg
Yeah,
thing.
you have hipper ones in New York?
no. Listen,
You
we have a
might, maybe
guy.
you do.
We took Marcus for hibachi for his birthday,
Hmm.
and the guy was doing the egg, and he threw it up, and it landed on his fancy hat.
Yeah, I've seen
And then,
that.
and then you've seen that? All
Yeah.
right. I don't know. I mean, what would you do? I think
I don't know.
maybe they have to
I
do.
don't know. I'm not a hibachi guy.
Maybe they need like double kick pedals like Alex Van Halen.
Yeah, like
Right?
maybe a double volcano.
What? I don't even know what the volcano. Do I just not pay attention to this stuff? What's the
They
volcano?
put they put the
Fire.
onions on top of
Yeah.
each other and they make a little volcano. Fire comes out
With
of the
fire.
top.
Guys, I don't think I pay attention at hibachi. I don't pay attention at all, but hibachi in particular, I think the noise of those the metal on metal just drives me crazy. And I remember when my daughter was like 12, she literally, my family was just screaming. They're so freaking loud. They were just like, "Rah!" and yelling across the restaurant. And I'm going to say my niece Lisa, there's usually like 25 of us. And we would and my daughter looked at me and said, "Daddy, are we that loud family in the restaurant that we hate?" And I said, I said, absolutely. It's crazy. So Ken, what are you doing for your first Thanksgiving as an American?
So we go to mom and dad's because I live with two vegetarians. So living with two vegetarians, Thanksgiving is not much fun. So we go to mom and dad's. They always have friends around. And then on Friday, Blackberry Smoke have their homecoming show in Atlanta. So we go to that. We'll stay in Atlanta and then go to friends the day after. So it'll be pretty cool.
Nice. So you're saying your in-laws eat meat?
Yeah, I don't call them in-laws. They call me son, and I call them mom and dad. But you met them at the wedding. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, no, they're totally cool. So, but do they eat meat? So.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
Susie's a vegetarian.
Yeah, Susan and Curtis are vegetarians. Yeah.
Wait, who's Chris? Her son?
Curtis is her son. Yeah.
Yeah. I met him. I met him. Right. Yeah. They're both vegetarian.
Yeah.
I think Francis was for a while. Maybe that's how. Maybe that's how he ended up 6 foot fat.
That's probably
6 foot fat.
So you mentioned a double kick pedal before. So I don't know if you saw what happened 2 weeks ago, but these are Roger Earl's drumsticks and signed by him.
Nice.
I spent the day with him. He invited me to Gary, Indiana, and paid for my hotel and everything. It was pretty awesome.
Cool. Are you giving him like good write-ups and stuff?
I did an article on the first 6 albums in January, and then I just reviewed their new record. They had a new record after 7 years, but I got an invite to a show and then it got cancelled, and then I get an email from his wife, right, who's been their manager since like 77 or 76, saying, "Can I have your phone number?" And I'm like, "This is a bit weird." And then my phone rings, and she's like, "Hello, this is Linda Rogers' wife. I'm sorry that show got cancelled. Can you come to another one?" And I'm like, "Well, I work and it's not really convenient." And then in the background, I don't know, she's sitting next to Roger, and he's from London, and he says, "Tell him to bloody well come."
Yeah, that's funny.
And then he grabs the phone off her, and he says, "What's bloody wrong with you? Get up here to Gary, Indiana." I'm like, "It's in the week, I work."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, you can do it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll get a 6 a.m. flight, come up, work from the hotel, go to show, stay the following day and fly home at 7 o'clock at night."
Right.
Anyway,
that's amazing.
So
wait, I have to circle back on something here though, because this is striking. So back to, I know you haven't been an American citizen too long, but back to taking risks. You got invited to Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, I know, right?
And you're like, "Yeah, I'll go."
Well, I did understand what Gary, Indiana was. Yes, I went, "Yeah, I'll go."
I have another nameless story. So I play paddleball with this guy. He's 67 years old, just a real tough Bronx guy. Used to live on Long Island, and so I did. I got to play with Robert Plant, with Francis, and so the guy says to me, "Who's the biggest celebrity you've ever played with?" I said, "Oh, Robert Plant." He goes, "Oh, that's cool. I was Foghat's coke dealer back in the 70s."
He wins.
He win like, and I laughed and I told Francis, and Francis swore that he was going to tell Robert Plant that story because it's just so funny. Can you imagine that? Like, that is cool. Like, here I am, like, yeah, I played with Robert Plant. He goes, oh, that's cool. I was Foghat's coke dealer in the 70s. In the 70s, that was the best part of it. Because cocaine mattered in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
So did Foghat.
So yeah. What was
That's
their
great.
was it Fool for the City? What was their big one? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I have to
The
admit, I
Slow
don't
Ride.
know.
Sleigh Ride.
Slow ride.
Slow
Slow
Ride.
ride.
Slow Ride.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Slow Ride.
I just want to make love to you.
But Roger Earl's he's a great drummer, man.
Oh,
Like,
fantastic.
yeah, totally. So now was he? So was that was a Foghat show? That
Yeah.
just wow.
Foghat and Grand Funk Railroad. So I got to meet Dan as well from Grand Funk Railroad.
Right. That's pretty cool, man. Slow Ride. That is pretty cool. So all right, so you're set and you're doing the in-laws for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And Ian, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm in New York, so I'm going to my sister-in-law's for Thanksgiving.
Right. I invited.
We do turkey and there's no vegetarians.
This cool.
Everybody's 6 foot fat.
Everybody's 6 foot. Are they tall? Is Allison's
No,
family?
they're actually short.
I mean,
5 foot fat.
if you crest 5'9" in my family, you're a giant. So
No, they're not fat either.
what was that?
They're not fat either. I just like the joke.
No, it's a great joke. No, Francis is pretty good at the self-effacing humor.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
I'll tell you one more story. So Francis and I went to Hammerstein Ballroom to meet up with Robert Plant one night. And this guy comes up to Francis and he goes, hey, Frankie, what's up? And they start talking. And Francis says, oh, this is my mate, Eric. And he goes, hey, Simon Kirk. I said,
Oh wow.
I said, from Bad Company? And he goes, yeah. And I said, dude, you're one of my favorite drummers. He goes, thanks. He said, but you didn't recognize me. I said, sorry, man. I had Stevie Nicks on my wall. I mean, so I walked away. I walked away. I said, what is that guy's problem? And Francis says, oh, Eric, don't pay attention to him. He still thinks he's Simon Kirk. Which was, but anybody who knows Francis, he's a little bit like your brother Brian, Ian. He's just got, it's like somewhere between two dimensions. What he says makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. But all right, listen, we're going to wrap up here in a minute. And normally I don't rush us off, but I'm starting to lose. What was I going to sing by John Oates tonight? You
never close your eyes.
You
I'll
never
take the whole podcast.
close your eyes anymore. Was there anything else other than the woman peeing?
We were going to do, but we can save this for next week. We were going to do the fact that every hot teacher in the country seemed to get arrested last week for sleeping with a student.
Well,
There was 3 that I know of
missed
this week.
that.
the wife and I got into a big argument because there were 2 teachers who were double teaming a kid on the football team, and he was 16. And she was like horrified. And I'm like, that's kind of like, that's a 16-year-old boy's fantasy. And she
It is, but I guess it ruins them.
She said, no, it doesn't.
You know what ruined me? Not getting laid.
Yeah, see, exactly. Louis, thank you, man. It's always good to see you, brother. Bless everyone, he said. And then we got Johnny Sweat up there. Luis Quinones just said, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. He's a
Happy
paddleball.
Thanksgiving.
He's a paddleball. He's not the coke dealer for Foghat, but he's definitely a paddleball. So, but now I just completely lost my train of thought.
We were talking about not getting laid. I know about 16-year-olds.
I didn't
and,
have that. I
teachers.
didn't have that problem. Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
No, but
Still
no,
do.
but Sheila said, what if that kid thinks, wow, that has so many tentacles into trouble. Ian. I'm going to stop right there. But so Sheila was concerned that this 16-year-old boy actually thought these teachers loved him. And I was like, wait, there's 2 of them. Right? So it's like, will you love me in the morning? No. Will you? I mean, come on. And then the New York Post said they were withholding the student's name to protect his identity. I said, protect his identity. You're ruining his legacy. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
right.
Exactly.
Like, oh my goodness.
All
Anyway,
right, this is next week's show.
listen.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Ken,
Thanksgiving.
listen to all my friends out there. Please congratulate Ken for his
Ken, good meeting you.
Congratulations, Ken. Yeah, it's huge.
Ken. All right. We love it.
Congratulations.
From
Thank
Lee.
you.
All right. Everyone have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. We love you all.
Happy Thanksgiving. Take care, everybody.
See you,
Love you.
everyone. It was
Thanks
good to have you,
Bye.
Ken.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. How do I get out of here?